So, OpenAI just lost to Anthropic, and nobody's talking about it. I mean, what a title, right? That is a bold, bold claim. You'd think a statement like that would be all over the news, all over social media, but it's been strangely quiet.
And here's what makes this so interesting. This isn't some clickbait headline from a tech blog trying to give views. Nope, this comes directly from a developer, someone in the trenches, actually building real AI applications, who says they're witnessing a massive shift in real time.
So that's the big mystery we're going to dive into. Is this just one person's hot take, or did a genuine earthquake just shake the AI world and nobody felt it? To figure it out, we're going to look at a very specific, very compelling case study. Okay, so to understand just how big of a deal this is, we first have to understand the world as it was. Because in AI automation, there was this hidden and honestly brutal problem that even the top models were struggling with. Our story here really centers on a platform called droidDo. Now, their goals sound simple, but it is incredibly ambitious. They want you to be able to describe any task, any workflow, just using plain English, and have an AI agent go and do it. Simple concept, but it is insanely hard to get right. To try and pull this off, droidDo was using the heavy hitters, OpenAI's GPT, Google's Gemini, the best of the best. And you know what? They were pretty good. They got things right about 90% of the time. But, and this is the absolute key, in automation, 90% success is basically 100% failure. If the AI writes 1,000 lines of perfect code, but botches just one critical line, the whole thing comes crashing down. And this chart just shows the problem perfectly. That little 10% failure rate doesn't just slow things down, it has a 100% impact on whether you can actually trust the system. You just can't deploy something for a critical task if you know it's going to fail 1 out of every 10 times. That last 10% was the entire game. I love this analogy from the developer because it just captures the frustration so perfectly. It's like having this genius on your team who can do incredible things, but every once in a while, they just make a simple, catastrophic mistake. It was a ceiling, a wall, that just seemed impossible to get past. But then, something changed. A new model showed up, and it didn't just nudge things forward a little bit, it completely shattered the old rules of what was even possible. That's when Anthropic, a rival AI company, released Claude 4.5. And for the team at droidDo, the effect was immediate. The word they used to describe it was stunning. This wasn't just a minor improvement, it was a fundamental leap forward. So what made it so different? Well, it wasn't just a little bit smarter. Claude 4.5 showed a whole new level of skill in the areas that matter most for automation. It could remember the context of a task for way longer. It had this incredible attention to detail that others would miss, and its logic was just rock solid. The exact same prompts that used to fail now just worked. And this slide really gets to the heart of the change. Before, using an LLM felt like using a tool, a code generator. You'd give it a command, it would spit something out, and you'd have to double-check its work. With Claude 4.5, it felt different. It felt like you had a real engineering partner, a teammate you could actually rely on. This shift, from just a tool to a true partner, had massive game-changing results. It didn't just make their current system a little better, it completely unlocked a new future for automation. And here is the number that says it all. Reliability shot up from that frustrating 90% to a solid 98%. Now that might not sound huge, but going from failing 1 in 10 times to failing 1 in 50 times, well, that's the difference between a cool science project and a dependable product you can actually sell. And that reliability changed absolutely everything. Suddenly, these complex, multi-step automations that were basically a pipe dream a month ago became, well, routine. The ceiling wasn't just raised, it was gone. This led to a concept that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction, the AI employee. Now think about that. We're not talking about a chatbot or a simple script. We're talking about a fully autonomous agent that you can create just by writing a job description, just like you would for a person. And the process is just wild in its simplicity. 1, describe the job you need done. 2, feed that job description into the system. And 3, an automated AI employee is created and deployed, ready to work. This is the kind of stuff that makes you feel like we're getting a lot closer to real AGI. Which brings us right back to our original question.
If this is such a massive breakthrough, if this technology can unlock concepts like an AI employee, then why is it so quiet out there?
Well, the going theory is that this shift is so new and so focused on these really complex applications that most of the industry just hasn't seen it yet. A lot of people are still building simpler things, where that old 90% reliability was, good enough.
And this quote suggests the big players might already see the writing on the wall. I mean, think about it. If you can't compete on the level of reliability needed to create agents from just a prompt, what do? You pivot. You start pushing simpler interfaces like drag and drop builders. It's a strategic reaction to this new reality.
So here's the real takeaway. For anyone out there building on the cutting edge, making these complex systems with multiple AI agents, this is not just some small update. This is potentially a changing of the guard, a moment where the tool you choose could be the difference between success and failure.
And that's where we'll leave it. The developer who wrote all this ended with that exact question to the community, so we're going to end our explainer the same way. For those of you building in this space, are you seeing this too? Or is this just a one-off? Is this the quiet beginning of a major shift in the entire AI landscape?